Batman vs. Superman, a movie that pretty much is the introduction. There's not much else to it, and yet there's everything else to it. I'm just going to give the heads up right now. We're recording this on Easter, and there's kind of a lot of stuff to do.
Our Lord has risen, and here we are talking about this movie. That's how much we care about you.
So we're not going to do a spoiler corner.
Sorry, Jesus.
You mean sorry, Superman? You saw the movie, come on.
Sorry, Super Jesus.
So we're gonna start off just saying our initial thoughts, and then we're gonna go right into spoilers. My guess is most of you have seen it, or at least heard about it, but so we're gonna start off, and we'll tell you when we get to the spoilers. We're gonna start off talking about this movie.
And for any Muslims and Jews or Buddhists or Hindus out there who are offended because we're talking about Super Jesus, you can worship whoever you want. You're Super Aquaman, you're Super Wonder Woman, you're Super... What would
Our Holy Mother of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, who would Batman be?
He'd be... What's that guy that goes after Santa? Krampus?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so we include all religions.
And if you want to hear even more detail about my thoughts on it, you can go to Awesome Comics, our new show. We have that there. But this is a chance for both of us to talk about and discuss it. I'll just start. This movie is getting panned left and right, mostly by critics,
It's not just like Man of Steel kind of like mixed reviews.
No, it's getting slammed.
Disastrously catastrophic.
It made Ben Affleck sad.
Yeah, it made Ben Affleck sad.
And
hello, darkness, my old friend, sad.
As of now, the fans seem pretty diehard split in the middle, and you can tell who are who. The people who love DC, love reading the comics and love these stories, fucking hate it. The people that are just looking for, I want to see Batman and Superman just punch each other and shit blow up, are loving it.
And there's like a very tiny, very, very vocal, but unlike Man of Steel, where it seemed like they may have been a minority, but they were much larger, this time around it's a very tiny minority of like diehard DC fans who are just like, just don't get it. Movie ever made. How could you say that? Like, but there aren't many of them. I mean, I found like maybe one or two online over the past 3 days, and like they've drunk the Kool-Aid. Like it's hilarious. It's just like the critics don't get it. Well, the audience loved it. I'm like, well, the audience score went down 20%.
Yeah, every time I see this game,
well, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't count. I'm like, but you were just like, no, like they're just far gone. So there's like a couple. There's like a group of like a dozen people on the planet who are like really diehard. This movie's great, and most people I've seen who like the movie, it's very much in the it was alright. Like there were some problems, but it was alright.
The people that like
nobody
it,
loves it.
Yeah, I haven't found anybody that said like it's amazing, it's phenomenal, there's no problems. Everybody has an issue with it. People like Man of Steel like it beginning to end for the most part. I mean, like really like it.
Look at something like The Dark Knight. If you even dared criticize any fucking thing, you had your hand handed to you. But that one, it was like when they liked it, it wasn't like, well, there's a problem, but it was just like, no, this movie's fucking amazing. Shut up.
Yeah, this one they're very open about acknowledging there's definitely problems with it. And the funny thing is...
So that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, so
we have to start off by saying that.
With all those ratings going in, and the critics, and what I'm hearing and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, just lower your intelligence, take it down, act like you're going to see the Transformers movie, the Michael Bay one, because I kind of like that one, when I don't think about it. And I went in, and surprisingly, I was a little bit more open to it. I actually legitimately enjoyed about half of it. And even though I know it makes no sense and it's totally dumb as hell, but I found it entertaining. The other half is also insane, makes totally no sense, and really pissed me off. So,
here's my issue.
No, and I'll say this. I guess that means technically I like it more than Man of Steel, even though I think Man of Steel is probably the better put together movie, and that's saying something about the coherency.
It is. Man of Steel, as crazy as it is a coherent narrative. This isn't even.
But I found maybe 2 or 3 scenes entertaining in Man of Steel that I thought were interesting and cool. This one I can go off 2 hands. Yeah. I can name all these really great scenes. This seems like a movie of great scenes. And terrible scenes.
The scenes that are entertaining in this one versus Man of Steel, the scenes that are entertaining in this movie are really fucking badass, awesome, nerdgasm,
Like what you've been waiting for, holy crap.
And yet,
stuff.
what you have to sift through versus Man of Steel is so much worse. Like, so just incoherent, like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like...
So they've made both better and worse.
Like, okay, Zod was kind of silly, but, like, Zod, I still felt like at some point... kind of a threat. I'm like, okay, he's intimidating, and Shannon's performance was so kind of over the top that I'm like, you know what, this is just fascinating to watch. Like, this is a larger-than-life character. Lex Luthor in this is so bad.
If you told me that I'd be saying Ben Affleck is one of the best things in this
Ben
movie,
Affleck is one of the best things.
He really is, and that to his credit, that's not an insult to Affleck. He really does well. He's a very good
It is an insult, I think, to everyone else in this movie outside of Jeremy Irons and, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, those three make this movie. Eisenberg almost single-handedly... No, I take it back. I can't say single-handed. Eisenberg, Amy Adams, and Cavill, like, pretty much drag whatever coolness is in this movie so far down that it's a miracle I found anything entertaining. And it's almost always when they're all off-screen. It's like, Batman, Wonder Woman, Alfred. Like, whenever they're on screen, I'm like, this is a pretty solid movie.
Even when they're doing stuff that makes no sense, they are just so awesome.
Yeah.
Cavill I didn't think was... quote-unquote bad, but he wasn't good either. In the first film, even though he had nothing to work with, I felt that's Superman. Like, they got him. The way he talked and the way he was very distinct and his cape is flowing.
Not in this movie.
In this one, this is his whole performance.
No, it's either this, we have to write this story about the Batman. I'm not gonna crack a smile once throughout every single fucking Clark Kent can't smile. The one part of Superman who should at least have some sort of...
He was quirky for a
wit.
second in a bathtub. He smiled then.
Oh, we'll get to that. That was the most embarrassing fucking thing I've ever seen. Both of them, like, are gonna look back on that and be like, I can't believe I agreed to be in that scene.
You hate that scene a lot more than, like...
It was
I was just
so...
like, okay, whatever, but...
oh, God, but... So he never corrects it, so it's either that or it's just... Like, he just has this scowl face, and the thing is... there's no difference between him and Batman. None. Like, you read the Frank Miller comics, there were ideological differences. Well, as you said, that one scene where he's just like, well, why do you hate the Batman? Well, he's just a vigilante. And it's like, hello? Pot calling kettle black?
Yeah.
Like, they wrote this.
They are the biggest hypocrites of each other. Where in the comics and the animated movie, which did this much better,
movie blows
there's an actual difference between the two. They actually do different things. And their attitudes are different, their ideologies are
working for the government, he's not against them. Like, there are real differences.
Yeah, and here, it's like, it's just two hypocrite assholes.
Yeah.
So you're a hypocrite asshole, you're a hypocrite asshole.
And it totally works with Batman, because we always know he's a hypocrite asshole. I don't believe in violating people's personal freedoms. Except this one time I would do it with cell phones. I don't believe in killing people using guns, except for these one times where I might, So that's been on and off throughout the entire history of Batman. There's something about Superman, though, where it's just like, the degree to which he's just this much like Batman, I'm like, why are these two fighting? They're the same goddamn person.
Yeah. And that's, in some respects, it's like, and that's what you want to do, like they're so similar they hate each other, because I mean, we've all seen people like that. That's fine, but that's not who they are.
Well, and I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I think
so
Zack Snyder and David, I hate every comic book fan on the planet, Goyer, who I don't know how he keeps getting this job. He has nothing but contempt for, like, even DC fans, and yet DC fans will, like, the hardcore ones, be like, this was amazing. I'm like, he hates you. I can't believe you're falling for this shit. I think they thought that they were actually making these, like, no, these two sides are different, and this is going to be a thinking man's movie. It's not a thinking man's movie, by the way.
No.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying comic book films can't. The Nolan films were way more of a thinking man's movie than this, and I love the Nolan films, so I think they thought they were making these two different, but this is what I said in Man of Steel. I'm like, watch. If this whole Batman vs. Superman thing's gonna work, they've already fucked it up because they made Superman too much like Batman.
We sung a song about it!
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here.
And so...
hold on, wait. And the bathtub scene. Okay, like...
Out of all the stuff in this movie, I think it's so funny that that's the biggest insult to you.
Well, it's not the biggest insult. It just was such a demonstration of how Cavill and Amy Adams went from having little chemistry in Man of Steel, and I think it's been gracious, little chemistry, to zero chemistry. I mean, now it's actually a negative chemistry. They actually suck the chemistry out of other actors who like each other around them. Like, they have this scene in the beginning where, like, Clark walks in and she's like, first off, she's naked because, like, fan service, I guess, but he walks in with, like, flowers and she's like, you have to save me. And of course he's all morose, well, I have to save you. And they have, like, this conversation and all of a sudden, like, he's like, like, drops the flowers and with his pants on and clothes and everything, hops in the bathtub and, like, straddles her. And they don't look like two characters in love. They look like two random people picked off the street for a reality show and they were just paid to do this. It is the most awkward, clumsy, silly thing. Like, basically, like, the audience I saw with, it was one of the only few laughs that the entire screening got because everybody was like, fuck? Like, it was just so ridiculous. And all of their scenes are like that. Not in a bathtub. But they're all just so dead. They're like a couple of virgins in a freshman year in high school pretending they're in love.
You say not in a bathtub, but through half the movie, Lois is drowning.
Oh no, it's
whether it be in her performance or literal water.
Totally useless again. And
I
this,
mean,
again,
you thought they were trying to shoehorn her in the first film. By God, the whole point of this movie is for her to prove that Lex Luthor is the bad guy, and it's like, so essential! We never would have figured that out!
There's this whole, and the funny thing is, I'm like, when I heard the screenwriter for Argo was involved, I'm like, maybe this can happen. What happened was we got the worst of all worlds, because now it's David Goyer horse shit. Basically, with a bunch of Argo stuff kind of shoehorned in, so there's this whole CIA plot in the Middle East that somehow is supposed to tie to this, and when it's all said and done, the big reveal of the whole, like, plot in the Middle East that we had to sidetrack to was that Lex's men were behind it.
And it still doesn't really make sense, like, any of that, so I mean...
That was 20 minutes of filler you could have spent on the characters just to give Lois something to do.
We can probably jump into spoilers at this point, because, yeah, I think you can... Pretty much, I liked about half of it, even though it was stupid, it made no sense, and the other half was really frustrating and really annoying, so
frustrating is
very
very
happy.
because you can see the good movie.
Yeah.
You can, it's Batman versus Superman! That's a good movie in the title! The title alone says this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And you can see it in there, like trying to come out through all the bullshit. And that's why it's so frustrating to me.
I think that's what's so aggravating about it is that with Man of Steel, first 10 minutes, you know the movie you're gonna get. And it's like, okay, this is it.
First 20 minutes of this film are amazing.
Yeah, and even like, I'm with you because we talked about this, it starts off with Bruce's parents getting shot again, and it's like,
how many times
do we have to see that? But, like, okay, it's gonna sound weird, because in every version they always have pearls, like the mother's pearls. What they do with the pearls in this is unbelievable. I know you're like, what does that mean? You gotta see the movie because, like, there's these shots that they do. It literally
was the comic book panels come to life.
Yeah.
It's what Snyder, I think, does best. And yet, for some reason, I feel like he gets sidetracked. Like, for 20 minutes of this movie, he had his groove. And the first few minutes, it was hands on. How many times have we seen this? Bruce's parents getting shot. And I rolled my eyes. The second I saw him coming, I was like, Christ, not again. I was like, already we're in trouble. Exact opposite happened. I'm like, it was one of the most haunting, brutal, gorgeously shot interpretations of that scene ever. It is my favorite scene. Like, my favorite, like, interpretation of that classic scene. And the scene afterwards with the funeral was brilliant. The second Alfred just shouted, Jeremy Irons shouted, Master Wayne! I, like, bought him as Alfred. And I'm like, you know what? There's something that this is gonna work. And then it cuts to Bruce Wayne watching all of the damage happen in Metropolis, which, by the way, vindication for us. High five, bro. We were completely right. All of the whiny, crying, sniveling fanboys back in Man of Steel, but Metropolis was abandoned, nobody died. People dying left and right.
I actually thought that was kind of clever.
Thousands upon thousands.
They were addressing the criticism of the last film. I thought that was very clever.
They addressed it.
And it was shot very well, very intense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That opening, Bruce saving the little girl there, and then looking up at Superman, and that look on his face and that glare, like, you motherfucker. Like, it told us everything we needed to know without a line of dialogue. I love those scenes that do it without dialogue. It's purely visual.
Yeah,
no dialogue, no. It set it up.
I thought he was doing more of that in this film
Yeah.
too. Despite there is a lot of talking, I thought they did much more here than they did in Man of Steel.
If you asked me, right at that moment, right then and there, what I thought of this film, I would have been like, I don't fucking get this. This is amazing. We are golden. This is golden. Snyder can do the rest of them for all I care. The critics are full of shit. I don't know what they are whining about. This is 30% my ass. I would have been like, we're great. And literally after that, the whole movie slides down. Like, that first 20 minutes was such a tease. It was so good. So you can't tell me that, oh, we're the evil critics. We don't get it. We don't. That's the whiny DC fanboy, you know. It's their last desperate grasp at straws. It's, well, the critics don't get it. I wanted to love this movie. 20 minutes into it, I was so fucking psyched. I was like nerdgasming all over the place. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. And then it cuts to India. And I'm like, okay. Like, this is random, but I'm like, well, okay, they gotta get the kryptonite. All right. And then it cuts to Kerblakistan or something. It's like, okay, there's a CIA plot. I'm like, wait, was that Jimmy Olsen? Did they just fucking kill Jimmy Olsen? Like, okay.
Did you know Jimmy Olsen worked for the CIA?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and then like some random dude, another private security, and then it's like, now we're back to Metropolis 18 months later, and like literally ever since that point, it just like went completely off the rails.
I guess Superman really doesn't give a shit about Jimmy Olsen because he was there before Lois gets shot, but Jimmy's like, you know, he was a pipsqueak, let him go. I just realized he just let Jimmy Olsen die. Because you know, every second, like, there's a scene where, like,
I don't even know what happened.
Off a roof, and he's always there to catch her. You know, literally, like, how could he know she was falling off that roof? Was he waiting or whatever?
YouTube will correct me. I don't know.
But apparently lets his mother get kidnapped.
I thought they were saying that was Jimmy. Like, I just assumed it was Jimmy Olsen because next to Lois, photographer.
Even if that, he's always there to save Lois. And yet, like, his mother gets kidnapped later in the movie. Well, completely missed that.
Not only missed that, but all right. So we should go in order. So so yes, do not try to and don't try to tell me it's like we need any DC fans. I've read all the Frank Miller Batman material. I read the fucking Death of Superman when it came out originally.
We were there, man. We were there.
You freaking kids who are like 17 years old trying to say we're not a DC fan. I was there when I read it, and I'm like, what the fuck is it doing in this movie? What the hell does it have anything to do with this movie?
Yeah, they do the Superman death. They squeeze it in at the very end because it's like, gotta end this somehow. You know, we got the other Stations of the Cross. Let's get the one where they're lowering him down in the cape in the red cloak, and the women, you know, hold him and they mourn. And right off.
And
I mean,
the only excuse I'm seeing from the diehardists, of which there are thankfully very few, is, well, it's like the comic book scenes come to life. I'm like, yes, but they don't mean anything when you grab random scenes and throw them in. Like, Wonder Woman, awesome ingredient. You know, Dark Knight Returns, awesome ingredient. You know, Death of Superman, I'm not really a huge fan of, but there are parts of it that I'm like, the concept of killing Superman and the funeral and everything. All right, potentially awesome ingredient.
Not in this one.
Not in this one.
No, you gotta wait.
But I'm saying no. I'm saying as just an ingredient of Doomsday. Like, who doesn't look like the backstory on Doomsday? In theory, should be amazing. Yeah,
but that's its own movie.
Yeah, all of these things, awesome ingredients. You throw them all into the same blender at once and hit fucking frap or fricassee blem whatever and try to drink that shit, it ain't gonna work. They tried to cram way too much shit, like as much as they could into this one movie and then hit blend. And so nothing, it's like you get a few great scenes, you're like, well, that scene was awesome, but it doesn't amount to anything. Because so many scenes like that I thought were really building up to something cool, well, we gotta cut away now to this. Like, and it just kept going on and on like that. So we could go to these other plot threads, or fucking Willy Wonka and the LexCorp factory, or Jim Carrey's Riddler, or Heath Ledger, whatever the fuck Eisenberg was trying to do.
And you know, it's like Joe Vargas was talking about. He said, you know, there's two writers that worked on this, David Goyer and the guy that did Argo, like you said. And he's like, man, does it feel like one really knew what he was doing and another didn't. And, you know, he didn't say who, but I can guess.
Considering Goyer's track record, I'll tell you exactly who knew it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
And who should have booted off the movie the second they got the arc.
I mean, the David Goyer hate is just, like, so harsh right now, and I'm not saying it's unwarranted. I'm saying I'm not gonna act like I follow a lot of it. But from the sounds of it, it kind of sounds warranted, but I don't know. But just in general, the movie kind of feels like that, because even with the dialogues, I've heard a million times about like what it means to be a superhero, what does Superman mean to the world, what does Batman mean to the world. Like a lot of it, I was buying a lot more than I was in Man of
Steel. But they're all
teases,
because they go nowhere. Like there's this great bit, like Batman's branding people. I don't care. Like there's some even DC fans are like having a heart attack, or they're like, Batman's too mean. It's not my Batman. And it's like I grew up with Tim Burton's Batman. I've seen him do worse, and I actually love the really, really old school noir Batman in the beginning when he really was.
I didn't mind that. And I think honestly anything different.
And to me, it's another interpretation.
Yeah.
And in this case, you have to make him even way, way more darker because he's already dark. So he's like branding people, and like Alfred has this great like speech about how like fear and everything. He's like. And the older we get and fighting this thing, it makes men crueler. Like, he literally is calling Bruce out and saying, I don't like where you're going with this. Like, I'm your butler, I'm helping you in this. But it was very clear. He's like, I don't like where you're going with this. I'm like, what a great idea. What are we going to do with this? Nothing. Scene ends, never brought up again. And there are so many scenes like that where great questions asked, never addressed, which is why it is not a thinking man's movie.
Another great scene, when he walks by, you see the Robin costume with the Joker spray paint on there, haha, I got the last laugh. You immediately know why he's harsher now, why he's even meaner than before. I mean, so you don't know the details, but it's like, you catch on, you're like, holy shit, something went down here. And he's even more bitter and more angry. And
well, you read the comics, like, we get it.
Yeah, so I mean, but even if you don't, like,
even if you don't, I thought that was enough.
Story.
Yeah, I thought that was enough of a setup that you could start piecing to. Yeah, you can piece together that.
No line of dialogue. No, you know what happened to Robin. You remember what happened. What? No, he looks at that, you get it, and I love it when it did that. And even when they were talking half the time, I thought it was working. But the motivations and the setups, pretty much for everybody, don't make sense, and they don't come together. So when it finally gets to the big point where Superman and Batman come together, here's going to be the big fight, you're saying, why are they fighting?
Because Lex has his money!
Yeah, and like, why
I'm like, what? And where was that explained? How did he even find that shit out? Really? No, like all of a sudden, like, a truck shows up and picks up Ma Kent or whatever, and I'm like, wait, did I miss a scene? Hello, scriptwriter, deleted scene, somebody, like, explain this to me. How did Lex know who she was, where she was,
where Kent was, all that stuff.
Never. Maybe I blinked because it was a long movie, and if you had told me that was the biggest surprise of this film, if you told me there were sections of this movie that were going to bore me to tears in Batman versus fucking Superman, the goddamn Batman versus Superman, I would have said you're a liar. But there were so many scenes where I literally was like dozing off, like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like,
so, and then I think the big thing, because like I said, and you can figure out, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much saw the movie.
Yeah, that was the whole movie.
Doomsday shows up, they do exactly what you think they're gonna
destroyed.
Do. Yeah. No, now it's Zod and Lex's DNA, obviously.
As a backup plan after he wanted to get Batman to fight Superman, because Batman stole Lex's kryptonite.
And he wants to
You didn't even get that. I had to explain that to you, what Lex's plan was.
No, but even then, it makes no sense, because why does he want to get rid of Superman? Because he's a god, and he's a devil. First of all, the real Lex Luthor would see if he could get him to work for him. That's a real calculating, or blackmail him to do it. No, he just wants him dead. He wants to kill him. Okay, well, why? Because he's a god and he's too powerful. So what does he do after these plans fail?
Or I think a Moriarty kind of thing. The Donner film did that, where it's just like, this is the greatest person on the planet. I'm the greatest criminal mind. I'm going to be the one to take him down.
No,
but even get that aspect of it.
But even then, any real even in the Donner films and everything else, he has an evil plan.
Well, he does
something else. Here, his plan is just to kill Superman. But why? Because he's a god and he's too powerful, like everyone else is saying. So what does he do when his other plans don't work? He makes another god. He makes Doomsday. And he's like, look at all the technology. Oh, what else can I make? What other people can I make? It's like, it makes no sense. And so all the motivations don't work in it, and that is what made Batman and Superman so cool. It wasn't that, hey, one can fly, one has cool gadgets. Is that these are two totally different people with different ideologies who are both very powerful, and we respect both of them.
Well,
and when they come together, it's really conflicting for us because
what I don't
they're
get
so different, but they also work.
The lamest excuse I keep hearing, that's what I don't get. It's like, well, it's for the fans. Don't you get? It's for the fans, for the hardcore DC. How? It's a terrible adaptation. I don't know what they're like. I don't know what they're seeing in it. Like, if you're like, well, it's for us, the fans. I'm like, is it? I'm a fan, and I honestly, this just seems like a bad adaptation all around of so many different sources. None of them done really right.
No, to me, I think it's visually what fans want to see. They want to see Batman punching Superman, Superman punching Batman. They want to see him fight Doomsday. They want to see Wonder
Doomsday
Woman
fight. Okay.
They want to see no.
Yeah.
Visually,
But even visually, okay. Like, here's a couple problems I have. Like that truck chase where Batman goes after the kryptonite in the bat tank or whatever. People complain about J.J. Abrams and his lens flares. Did anybody notice that entire chase was nothing but just giant headlight lens flares? You couldn't see jack shit because you were just looking at these blaring lens flares. There was this great scene where Batman, I think he flips a car into the truck or something like that, and the car, all you see these giant Mack truck lens flares. The car goes in front of it, and for about a second, you can see something. You see the car, and then the car moves out of frame, and then there's just the lens flares again. And I'm just thinking, you know what? Where's Nolan with the whole truck chase and the Joker and the Dark Knight?
He started off really bad with the action too, but he got better.
He started off bad with the action, but it got better. Snyder's now on his second try here, and I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. That scene was nothing but a bunch of giant lens flares. I couldn't see anything. The Doomsday scene, the best thing about it, legitimately cool, Wonder Woman's golden lasso.
Yeah, who would have thought?
That really fucking worked. I was just like, wow.
I was like,
I never did.
I think everyone was like, well, okay, I mean, we can take Wonder Woman seriously, but come on, when she brings out the lasso, we're not gonna. But that was actually kind of cool.
One split second where she has the lasso around Doomsday, she's like, damn, yeah! Like, I was like, okay, that's really awesome. The rest of the battle, I'm sorry, it looked like fucking the Ghostbusters trailer to me. It's like, I'm like, this is just a cartoon. These are just a bunch of cartoons fighting, and to a certain degree, I get it with Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman to have humans really, but that was a fucking cave troll. That didn't look like Doomsday. It looked like the cheesiest Lord of the Rings animation. Like, Lord of the Rings did it better. I believe that cave troll more than this.
Something about the way, even though we knew it wasn't real, there's something about the way they did the gas station fight scene in Man of Steel. It was one of the few scenes that we both agree was amazing in Man of Steel, where you really felt the impact, you really felt the throwing. It was cleverly laid out. You could see it all. It was smart. It was fast, but you could see it.
And I'll give Man of Steel this: the climax in this film is not interesting. There is nothing really visually all that interesting. The thing about Man of Steel is they blew their load. They blew their load on that finale with that whole gravity machine, because I will give Man of Steel this. That gravity terraforming machine or whatever.
That was very creative. Blowing up the world with dubstep.
the dubstep machine, visually, that was fucking amazing. And that whole finale, as stupid as I thought it got, in many sections, as many problems as I had, I could not complain that visually the special effects were on their A game. They looked good. It was as epic could get. This is such a downgrade. The only really cool part that I thought, okay, besides Wonder Woman's lasso, I'm like, that's legitimately awesome, is like Superman punches Doomsday into outer space. By the way, everybody... Sorry, I'm gonna
keep going.
I'm gonna go on a rant here. Everybody was like saying, like, what were we saying in Man of Steel? Why didn't he just punch Zod into outer space or try to lure him away? If Zod goes back to Metropolis, fair enough. If Zod's like, I'm gonna fuck up as many of your people as I damn well please. Like, this is happening because you blew up my... I get it. They never did that. But there was no scene of Superman trying to lure Zod away. This one, you could tell. It was like a giant apology. The first thing he does is like, I'm gonna punch him into outer space. And that was actually a really cool scene.
No, but it's okay, because Batman brings him back, because he's on an island.
Oh, no, but did you catch that? Where did they land? On an uninhabited island.
Really? In Metropolis?
Yeah, like in the between. You mean in this giant lake between Gotham and Metropolis? That's uninhabited.
Gotham's literally across the lake.
Meanwhile, we've got Zack Snyder talking about like, well, nobody's complaining in Star Wars when they blew up billions of planets or billions of lives on these planets in Force Awakens. So he's still trying to defend his ass when his whole movie from beginning to end
Don't
is like,
bad guys do that? That's supposed to be the good guys.
Oh no, that's exactly it. He's still trying to defend this and thinks he's got a shot at this when his whole movie is apologizing for Man of Steel.
No, it's on this uninhabited island.
Don't do any more interviews, Snyder. You're not going to help your case.
It's on this uninhabited island, away from everybody, and Batman's like, I gotta bring him back to the city. Fucking why? Because the kryptonite is there. The kryptonite that's on a spear that you could just go grab and bring to him?
Yeah. But no, we gotta do it because that way Lois can go back and dive and nearly drown getting it because she threw it away originally because we need to give her something to do because she has so much chemistry with Superman.
Yeah, she just keeps fucking stuff up. But then, with all that going on, every time Wonder Woman's on screen, whether she's in disguise or not, she's awesome.
I'm a believer. I will say this, I did not get on the hate train when she was cast. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I had no idea what she was from.
There was a hate train. And I'm like, okay, listen. Body type, not what I imagined for Wonder Woman. It's a case where she's, kind of thinner. I don't want to say like scrawnier, but definitely like Amazon. You'd think Wonder Woman like Amazon tall woman biceps, like
muscles and
this and that. I'm like, it wouldn't have been my first choice, but I'll keep an open mind. Damn, she's good. For one thing, Linda Carter, I love you. You'll always be my favorite. But yeah, growing up in the 80s, she was always my favorite. But I do like that this Wonder Woman looks foreign in a way that I could see her coming from ancient Greece, like sort of a pan-Persian Greco kind of like.
And she has a little bit of an accent, but it's hard to figure out. But in this case, it really works to its advantage.
So it looks like to me that she could come kind of from that part of the world. And I'm like, that's interesting. We normally don't see that. She's supposed to be kind of ancient Greek, but. She looks white. It was a World War II comic originally, and it is what it is. But I'm like, okay, that's an interesting thing. And she steals every scene she's in.
Literally, she's stealing half of Bruce's shit.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say it. The scenes she has with Ben Affleck, there is more chemistry between Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince, or even Batman and Wonder Woman. More sexual chemistry there than there is with Superman and Lois Lane. Like, when you see those two together for a few minutes, they've got way more chemistry than Superman and
the
Lois.
funny thing is, I did not get sexual chemistry out of them at all.
I did.
I got much more sexual.
I got it out of Affleck. There's like a Bruce Wayne Playboy thing going on. Interesting, mysterious woman.
I got much more sexual chemistry out of Batman and Superman. They're like a couple fighting, having no reason why. They're just emotional little jerks.
They're like a married couple.
But no, with them, I really felt like every time they were together, like there's a sense of like these are like two spies and they know their shit and they're trying to get kind of on top of one another and they're trying to and like my favorite
their
scene
whole story
anytime they're together and I love this in movies. This is one of my favorite cliches when somebody's standing there, arms folded, someone else comes up, hands in the pocket, so
they made it work.
Yeah, mysterious thing building up to other mysterious thing. Indeed. One walks away. It's like, I love that shit. Love it.
Dialogue foreshadowing next movie.
But it's amazing. And I love that shit. And they do it so much in this movie, but it never gets old because they both own it and they are so cool.
The acting out of those two, and the funny thing is, honestly, I think Affleck could be better and it's not his fault. So many scenes are cut short. So many scenes have little time to breathe that, because some people are like, well, he's a little bland. I'm like, I get that. I think that's the movie's fault. Yeah, I think Affleck is trying to do something. There's so many times where I really buy it, and I'm like, Honestly, I think they should have just jettisoned Superman and made this a made this a combination Batman, Wonder Woman, Finding the Justice League movie.
Yeah, no, I think they should have, got rid of Superman.
Superman contributes nothing
just
to
call it
this
Dawn
shit.
of Justice.
Yeah, just call it Dawn of Justice. It's supposed to have Batman. Superman should have the goddamn 10-minute cameo like Wonder Woman does.
Yeah.
That would have been the way better movie.
But the interesting thing is that, Nope, totally gone. Go ahead.
I don't know. There's no, I will say,
sorry.
the other thing is, a lot of people were complaining, the critics keep saying that it should be like Marvel movies and be funny. They don't all have to be funny.
I don't like...
They don't have
I
to
don't
be
like
funny.
when it's like Marvel, honestly.
Here's the thing, though. I get what the critics are saying, though. This is such a joyless movie in the sense that there's no even sense of, wit. Wry wit. And the funny thing is, everybody talks about, the Nolan films, they're so dark, they're so gritty. They are. But
even they had the Joker.
Yes, one of the reasons why even Batman Begins, there were funny lines. There were funny lines, even though we weren't a huge fan of Dark Knight Rises, there were funny lines. Bane had a couple of really good lines. There are, Martha Kent has one funny line.
The line from the trailer we all saw, I thought she was with you.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, but that's already been ruined because we saw in the trailer. Alfred, to me, had the only line that I really laughed out loud hardcore outside of Martha's, which
He had one or two little quips.
Yeah, it was when, seriously, if you can imagine this, Doomsday, that scene where, it's literally on the television, Doomsday's ripping the entire fucking city to shit. And, Batman's flying around and he's like, tell me what's going on out there, Alfred. And, he's just sitting there, he's like, oh, sir, I don't even know how I'd begin to describe it. The dry British wit, that just made me laugh, because I'm like, yeah, I can't imagine if I were staring at that on the screen what the hell I would tell Batman. I just, I don't know. I got nothing.
I remember what I was going to say, and this was about Affleck's Batman, is that, my two favorites are Keaton and Conroy. And they're both very different, but they both have something in common that their Bruce Waynes are much nicer, and you would never suspect them as Batman. And I really respect that about them. And then when they were Batman, they're just totally different people, and they're real hard asses, and one doesn't talk much, one talks a lot, and they're both wonderful. What I like about this one, this Affleck Batman, that I think they're trying to get with Bale, but never quite got,
Bale, I was not a giant fan of. He's the one weak thing, I think, in those movies.
No, and I feel bad, because you can tell he's acting his
I'm not blaming Bale.
Really trying hard.
It's
not
a
bad.
right fit.
But but no, this one I felt really worked, because whenever I read the comic, and I see the Bruce Wayne that they have there, where he is very stern and very serious, not the made jokes and stuff like that. He's kind of Batman. Then when he's in the limelight, he's the playboy, he's the hey, and stuff like that. I felt Affleck got that. When he looks serious, he's very serious, and he looks like a comic book character.
That's why I thought there was some chemistry between him
You sense strength behind him.
No, that's why I thought there was chemistry between him and Diana. I looked at his performance was like a playboy. At first just kind of sizing her up, hey. Because that is part of his, alter ego there. It's the thing about Batman is which is the alter ego by the end of it, but... And I feel as they went along, by the end of it, it became less about, anything sexual and more, camaraderie or whatever. But it was really interesting. I thought there's a great scene. Affleck comes back in the Bat Tank, Batmobile, whatever, underneath the pond, and that was a little much. But, he comes in and, there's just something about this shot where he gets out of the Batmobile, he takes off the mask, and he just walks up to a computer screen and just sits there for a second. I'm like, wow, that was Batman.
Yeah.
Believed it. He carries
the
himself
brooding
the
felt
right way.
so legitimate. Yeah. And I, again, with Bale, God bless him. I really mean that, because he had to go through so much in those movies. I know he's trying his hardest, and it's not bad, but I always said, this is a guy playing Batman. This is not Batman. Affleck...
Batman.
He really is Batman.
He sold me.
For me, I think he's after Conroy, after Keaton, he's number 3 for me. I think that is, probably one of the top 3 best Batmans.
Honestly, that whole Justice League trailer that had
nothing to do with anything.
not a single goddamn thing to do with the movie at all, but was more interesting than almost anything else in the movie for me, because I'm like, ooh, a promise of hopefully better things to come.
The music in this movie
the music
really,
in that scene was good too.
Well, I was going to say, the music in this movie is very inconsistent.
Some of it's bad, some of it's
but
good.
the stuff that's good, again,
the Wonder
Woman's theme is amazing. the only time I got legitimately like yeah, I'm in this is whenever she showed up and there's this guitar go. I'm like, yeah!
I know. I was the same way, and it really hyped me up. It kind of woke me up from the boredom of this movie, because like most of this movie, I'm just like, oh my god, like talking, random threads, not going anywhere, no scene amounting to anything, and then all of a sudden like, I'm like, yeah.
And again, I think that. It does seem like every step that they improved from Man of Steel, whether it be sort of better dialogue or no dialogue or better visuals or, cooler ideas and stuff like that or simplifying things, there's the exact same amount of making things worse.
It's hard, like when people are like, well,
strange.
which would you rather sit through, this or Man of Steel? I'm like, that's tougher, because technically Man of Steel is probably the better movie, but this has the more entertaining bits in it. You just have to wade through way worse to get to it.
Man of Steel was so boring. This was
much
rather
boring.
No, this had boring parts, but the cool parts, there are
so definitely
many more of them.
Except for that, but here's the thing, like, Wonder Woman with the lasso was great at the finale, but like that's where it makes it tough, because I'm like, as much as I had issues with the finale, I'm like, the finale was visually interesting in Man of Steel. This finale was such a joke. I mean, it was just embarrassingly bad. Like, here's some CGI cartoons. Here, like, they crash in the hulking ruins because we don't want to fight and kill any more people because people freaked out the first time. By the way, people didn't freak out because innocent lives were killed. People just freaked out because Superman didn't seem to be doing much about it. I think Snyder missed the point. He was like, well, I always have to do this in the Hulk and ruins now. Like, no. But it...
Well, and I think
I don't know.
And this comic strip that's now been everywhere, it's a famous strip where the Superman comes and stops this girl from jumping off a building, gives her some advice and gives her a hug and saves her life. And it's like, Zack Snyder's version, same thing, girl's about to jump, but then just Superman crashes through the building, this big explosion comes and she falls and stuff. I mean, that now is everywhere. That's the thing, it's not that lives are lost, it's that there's never any attempt anywhere else of Superman saving anybody.
Yes.
Here, at least they do have some scenes of him saving some people, but again, it's mostly Lois.
It's always Lois!
Yeah.
Always Lois!
He'll just gotta let Jimmy Olsen die.
No, there's a great line where, like, Bruce Wayne's like, well, at least we have to depend on a giant super god who's just, like, always saving a cat. Or no, any time your super god or whatever saves a cat out of a tree is reporting, I'm like, really? I would actually, I would kill to see this Superman save a cat out of a tree. I would kill just to freaking, like, we never see that, like, and I'm not saying, like,
there's that one montage, you remember, where he's saving the spaceship, there's the people in the flood, he's coming for them, he saves the people out of the burning building, they all touch him like the Messiah and stuff like that. There were several times where they did show.
Okay, I guess you're right. I think the problem was Bruce's line came first. I forgot about that montage. You know what? The reason I forgot about that montage is because
so much else in this movie.
Fucking boring, and there's so much else in this movie.
I actually really like
You're right. No, and I will say, okay, I will give this movie some credit. That actually was a good montage, and it had some fucking color in it. I thought by the first trailer we were gonna have more fucking color, and we've got maybe a few token scenes where it's like Watchmen, where I thought the actual use of color was great. I don't know what happened to that Zack Snyder. He seems to have vanished, but so many scenes, like, if it's not a montage like that, or the intro with Bruce's parents getting shot, or a dream sequence, like all the scenes with Clark in the newspaper room, they all fall flat. Just typical shot of Clark's face, Perry, like it could have been a fucking black and white movie.
I think you're done. I think you're spent.
I'm done.
Wait, we should probably wrap up here. I think the idea of doing a short review here is pretty much out the window, but, there's more to be said about this movie. That's kind of all I can say right now, depending on if you go on Vessel or not, the early subscription, but... Excuse me. But pretty much about...
Are you allergic to the...
I'm allergic to bullshit. I just quoted iRobot. There's a good half of this movie. I don't regret seeing this movie. There's a good half of it I'm really glad I saw. I
regret seeing half of it.
Yeah,
I will say, I don't regret it.
Man of Steel, if I didn't see, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care if I never saw that movie. This, a good half of it, I'm like, I'm glad I saw this.
Yeah, but would you see it again?
And what I said is that I would, but I would on DVD and fast forward half of it.
Or throw it in Adobe and like make your own cut.
Yeah, I would not see it on the big screen again. Even though parts of it were very impressive on the big screen.
And I think this needs to be said. How sad is that? And I know so many people who have come out of this. DC fans and just Marvel fans, and I'm both. I'm more of a Marvel person, but I love we were raised more on DC really when it came to films because we grew up in the 80s.
Yeah.
How sad is it that most people, when they like it, so few I've ever heard have said, I love this movie, I'd see it again. 90% of the people I see who say they would quote unquote like it go, yeah, it was alright, I don't know if I'd see it again, I saw it once, it was good, or it had its flaws, but it's okay. This is the goddamn Batman versus the motherfucking Superman. That title writes itself. How you don't get a great movie out of that, it's criminal. And I just gotta say, like, I feel bad. I feel like DC fans, all of us, have been getting dicked around now for way too long. Like, I feel like I've been waiting since Dark Knight for another great DC movie. And once again, I have to move the yardstick again. I was like, oh, well, man, like, okay, Dark Knight Rises was alright at best. It's like, let's just go to Man of Steel. And, like, even then with the parts I'd like, at best, I was like, alright, that was only alright at best. Okay, well, Batman vs. Superman, that's gotta be like, oh my god, alright. Well, hopefully Wonder Woman. And if not that,
I'm really
hopefully
hoping
Justice League. And hopefully, I have more faith in Wonder Woman now. Like,
yeah, no,
but
it was a great preview for Wonder Woman.
This is a cold, calculated, sad, pathetic move by a studio that has Marvel envy so bad that they are willing to do anything to try to catch up. And
it does kind of feel like they're taking Marvel Viagra right now.
Yeah, all they have done is taken the worst Marvel has to offer, lame villains, too many cameos, plot threads that just seem like they're kind of just setting up the next one, and none of the things that make Marvel good. All of those they chucked out the window. Soul, wit, humor, fucking humanity.
Color.
Like, all of those things, they chucked it out. So now we've got the worst of both worlds. Just like with the screenwriters, it's just like, I liked Argo, but I didn't like Argo for necessarily all of the CIA thriller plot. Well, that's all we get here. Like, all the humanity's kind of out, and well, I don't even like David Goyer, so that doesn't... But... just make a good movie. You don't need to... do you go to a DC film to see a fucking Marvel movie?
I don't go to DC films.
Well, you're not gonna want to now.
I'll go to Wonder Woman. Maybe Aquaman. He looked kind of neat. I don't even watch Flash or Supergirl or any of that stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It just...
Oh no, Flash and Arrow. I haven't seen Supergirl yet. Flash and Arrow are great.
I'm sure they're all great.
I would fucking rank Flash and Arrow next to Daredevil and Jessica Jones any day in a different category. It's apples and oranges, but what Marvel is to DC, light and fluffy and fun versus, dark, gritty, godlike characters, reverse it in television. It's like the DC stuff is light, fluffy, fun, and Marvel's all dark and gritty, and they are both equally good in their different ways. No, and I love DC TV.
As an environment, even before the movies, I liked Marvel more. I just liked being in that world. But DC had Batman and Superman. And, I didn't know much about her, but I knew Wonder Woman. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman felt, important. Like, it was important these characters existed, but outside of that, I knew, nothing else about DC didn't interest me.
But here's the thing,
even if it is good.
Would turning the Dark Knight trilogy, even if we didn't like the third one as much, into a Marvel-type series make it better? No. You don't go to a DC movie to see... I don't go to DC films to see fucking Marvel movies. I go to Marvel movies to see Marvel movies. And even then, I'm getting kind of marveled out. Marvel runs everything, which is why I wish DC would get their goddamn ass together and actually do something. But do something original and its own thing. Stop trying to copy Marvel. I don't want to see you do Marvel. I like you because you're DC.
Well, and you're just getting to it too late.
Yeah, well, it's sad. I mean, it's
we're getting
pathetic.
tired with Marvel doing it.
Yeah, and now you
now
want to
you're
try it?
starting.
What the balls and the hubris to think that you could really pull this off like Marvel does and do this as well in, what, 1-2 movies? Like, and just copy Marvel's formula? It's fucking ridiculous. Don't do it. Just focus on making a really good DC set of movies. Like, stop trying to copy the formula over there. Let them do their own frickin' thing.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know. I continue, once again, as I say with every new film post Dark Knight, I hope they get their shit together because I like DC. Batman is still my favorite comic book character of all time.
Yeah, mine too.
Spider-Man's a close second, but it's still Batman. So a DC character is still my favorite. And it's making me cry watching this happen again and again. There it is! I'm off the soapbox now.
Suicide Squad looks like fun, though.
Actually, that kind of does.
Yeah, that does.
I
keep forgetting that's a DC movie.
It's because it just does. It's because it looks good. Honestly,
it looks colorful. It looks goofy. Fun.
It looks like it could be a fun movie. That's why
I keep forgetting it's DC.
I know. I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a fun Marvel.
They do the trailer like Guardians of the Galaxy too. I mean, it's like, but it looks like fun.
But considering what they've done on TV, they do it closer to their TV work, but just with a really dark, gritty edge to it, like a really fucking dark comedy. I think it could work. So okay, I have hopes for that one. But for the big ones involving the gods, Wonder Woman and stuff, the yardsticks moved again. We failed again here. Let's hope Wonder Woman's good. Dear God. That may be strike 3 for me. If Wonder Woman's not good, I may just be like, I'm out.
Wonder Woman sounds like it has everything going for it with the exception of, like, the time period. Like, I haven't heard anyone pissed off, but they're like, okay.
Honestly, I actually
War One or whatever.
At first, I was a little weirded out because I'm used to it being World War II.
I'm open to it, but it's
the
like...
more I thought about
I want to see Wonder Woman now. I want to see her do cool stuff now, but...
No. In the original, it starts off in World War II. So
I know. Was it 1 or 2?
It was World War II.
Okay.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, I'm actually kind of for it in World War I because World War II was very cut and dry, good, evil. And this Wonder Woman they're setting up seems to have an issue with... her thing is always like protecting humanity, and she was sent, to basically put us on the right path. And World War I is an interesting war because that one really wasn't so cut and dry. It was just a whole bunch of different assholes just fighting each other. You can't go and like, aha, the Nazis, the evil Nazis versus the good, and I mean, yes, even in World War II, it's not like us Americans did everything on the level either. But that one's easier to go that route. World War I, I'm like, this could be interesting because that was one where it's just like, man, you had no faith in humanity, like just a bunch of guys killing each other for a few years in the trenches. Like
that's the war to go to. Like.
Yeah, I'm like this could give her an interesting pathos in that movie and going forward. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what that interpretation's like.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. So
the third string hero, the Batfleck and the Butler, and the Justice League trailer. Best things in this movie.
Yeah. The stuff, honestly, we kind of thought would be the least good about it. If you told me this stuff was the best, I'd be like, oh, what?
The controversial Batman, the British
controversial
Butler,
Wonder Woman.
The controversial Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Scar as Alfred.
Yeah, and a couple of cameos from the Justice League are the best things in this movie.
Yeah, the stuff that everybody thought they would hate the most is kind of the best thing in it. So, yeah, there it is. Don't know if there's too much else we could say after that. I think
there's nothing we can say because we're critics, so we don't get it. We've never read a comic book, and I like that. Like somebody accused, I saw that the other day.
You take them so personal.
Oh no! It's the insanity of the things you read. It's like just listening to crazy people talk on the street. It's like critics who've never read a single comic book in their entire life. I'm like, really? Every critic everywhere has never opened a comic book ever. Like that'd be interesting. That seems like statistically impossible, but.
Well, you were a fan first before you came in. You read a lot more DC than I did. I know some of the stories, but you know them much more than I do. And even the ones I did know that they borrowed from it here, I know they fucked up. So, we're almost out of battery here. We talked for a while. So, yeah, guys, that's about it. there's even more stuff coming on it if you want even more. So
God help us all.
God help us all. So we'll see you next time. Take care.